Hey everyone, welcome back to Bourbon Battles. I'm
I'm
Joe.
Chad.
Hey, we got a good one for you today. Chad and I are going to discuss with you our 5 go-to daily drinkers right now.
Yeah, right now.
Not our 5 favorite daily drinkers. What are we
Not
drinking?
even our 5 favorites.
Yeah, it's just what are we drinking in the last week or two. So stick around and check that out.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. We're going to get into it. We want to start with what. So when Chad and I put this together, we only had one whiskey in common that we drink on a normal basis over the last couple of weeks. In
Over
our
the last couple months, actually.
couple months, in our your 5, my 5 equal the 10 best daily drinkers that we're drinking right now.
Yeah.
So this is what we had in common. Maker's Mark 46 cask strength.
For the money and the proof and what you get, I don't think there's better. I mean, maybe there is, but that's pretty close to being as good as it's going to get, in my opinion.
You could substitute this with any private select, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're all relatively the same.
Just different stave profiles.
Proof-wise, though, and age-wise, I think they're all pretty much the same.
Yeah. You don't have to watch us for very long or see too many of our videos to know that we love this stuff. And hey, speaking of seeing our videos, go back and watch everything. And if you like the content, go to our Patreon page. And right here, you'll see a little graphic of some of the benefits of joining Patreon. And you'll find a link to that in the description of this video. So we'd love for you to check that out along with our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikToks.
With an S?
Yeah. Did I catch everything there right quick?
I think so.
Mostly Patreon. You want to go first, bud?
Sure.
Oh, before we do.
Okay.
I picked one of mine out of my list and gave it to Chad blind, and he did the same for me. Tell him why we're drinking blind.
I don't know why, but I keep hearing about it, and I've heard about it on the internet everywhere. And I even saw a newspaper article about it. These 2 guys from Indiana that drink whiskey blind, but it didn't say why.
Dolly Parton knows.
I don't know
because
why.
we don't give a rat's ass what's on the label. We just like good whiskey.
Is that why?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So as we go through these, Chad and I will be sniffing on these, and we'll give you a little review at the end. We'll try to keep this somewhat pinned up. You're up.
The first one. This is a daily drinker for me because I was lucky enough to acquire a bunch of it before they quit selling it, producing it, sending it out. Heaven Hill, green label, 6-year-old, 90 proof Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It's, well, if you've never had it, sorry, but if you have had it, then you know how good it is for what it was and what it cost. I mean, where else are you going to get a 6-year-old whiskey for $13 a bottle?
And it's delicious. It's totally gone, except for the liquor stores that just have some left over.
Yeah, there's some people that got it for $75, $80 a bottle.
Is that a good deal?
No.
Flip it, don't sip it. I guess I'm up.
No, you said it wrong again.
Flip it, don't sip it.
Again.
Sip it, don't flip it. I do it all the time. That's in my head.
Megan wants royalties off that, by the way.
Like a portion of our proceeds?
Yeah.
Should be able to retire soon. So, hey, one of my favorite daily drinkers, and not released in Indiana.
Well, in southern Indiana, you can get it, but it's the same story.
Tough to find, but if you're in, like, I get this in Louisville for like out the door $11.42 or something.
Yeah, I can get it for you can get it for less than $10 a bottle in Wisconsin. So
yeah, this is Old Fitzgerald Prime coming in at 80 proof. It's probably my favorite 80 proof whiskey. It is the exact same mash bill and everything. It's just a different proof as Larceny. I think I prefer this to Larceny at the lower proof point. And of course, if you've ever been lucky enough to get an Old Fitzgerald bottled and bond decanter, some of the best whiskey ever made.
That's a whole different ball game.
It's not $10.42.
No, but it's a whole different ball game. Another one. Let's do
Make you howl at the moon if you drink it.
This one right here.
Hello.
OGD 114. It's another high proof one that I really enjoy. It's high rye, which is completely different than the Maker's Mark, but they both have their own good qualities about them. This is very cheap if you can find it. Once again, there's distribution shenanigans going on, at least where we live, and sometimes there's a bunch of it, and then it'll go for months where there won't be any of it. It'll go to other parts of the country, and it's everywhere. But if you guys happen to stumble across about all this, I think you should pick it up. Give it a shot.
Hey, We've battled this against Blanton's and all kinds of other stuff. It won our Bottled and Bond budget tournament. Almost won the whole Bottled and Bond tournament.
Didn't.
Got beat by Old Fitzgerald, if I'm not mistaken. Evan Williams Bottled and Bond coming to it 100 proof at a Heaven Hill. This stuff is amazing for a little bit of nothing. This is what I keep in my decanter.
Yep.
It's just,
and it is available everywhere.
I saw this the other day at Total Wine for like $18, a half gallon.
Oh, okay.
This stuff, if you don't have this, pause the video, go get you one and drink with us when you come back to it. You're gonna thank us for that.
You'll be glad that that dirty old white label bottle is actually one of the better ones you could have, in my opinion.
It's delicious.
Let's go next up. Good old tried and true Jimmy Beam White Label. Now, a lot of people might say, why in the hell would you pick Jim Beam White Label? Well, because I've just drank a lot of Jim Beam White Label in my life, and I kind of prefer it, you know, on the rocks especially.
Was that the first whiskey you ever drank, really?
Probably.
Of any kind of frequency? It was definitely mine.
Yeah. I mean, and it's also another one that is available everywhere, and it's reasonably priced, you know. So it's 90 proof, at least 4 years old. They don't give an age statement, but I think it's at least 4 years old, and it's
good.
Yeah.
So my next one on my list currently, this is something I would have told you probably a year or two ago that I don't really care for, but I've grown to like it. I've grown an acquired taste for it, and that's the Four Roses Single Barrel. This is not their barrel proof store picks, a regular single barrel coming to you at 100 proof. These are really pretty well priced in today's market when you compare them to like even a Russell single barrel anymore, or a Blanton's, or some of the different single barrels. This is a high rye bourbon coming from Four Roses. And it's delicious. I've been kind of on a Four Roses single barrel kick lately, and I really like it. Check that out. I've got a couple of these, and I can taste the difference between them.
The last one I picked, and unfortunately it's not this bottle. The one I've got, well, the couple that I have are from a couple years ago. It's a little higher proof, but it's a Woodford batch proof. Brown-Forman product, Woodford Reserve product. I think if you guys are out and about and you can find a Woodford batch proof, regardless of the year, it's worth picking up. It's a little more expensive, but man, it drinks really well.
Are they all around that 118 proof point-ish?
125, I'd say between 125 and 115, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. If you like regular Woodford and you're into the higher proof stuff, you got to try it.
Yeah, and really you can't, it doesn't, in my opinion, they don't taste anything alike. But, you know, it's Brown-Forman, so it's Old Forester as well, and Jack Daniels and all that. It's all by the same parent company. But yeah, they know how to make whiskey. Let's be realistic.
Would you say today's market that's a unicorn?
Well, it's a once a year release, so I don't necessarily know I'd call it a unicorn, but you have to be on the lookout for it when they release it.
I've only ever seen that one. So, and hey, my last one, then we're going to have a bonus because we got to do a bonus. This has kind of been my jam here lately. I really, really enjoy this stuff. On the second bottle, Sagamore Spirits Double Oaked Rye. This is MGP Double Oaked. You know, Sagamore is getting a lot of attention lately. Tried this. I think it's fantastic. Not the easiest thing in the world to find, but I know they're all over the shelves at most Total Wines. So, good place to check it out. Love this stuff. This particular one is 96.6. I can't see.
And it's double oaked.
Double oaked. I love this stuff. So, you want to talk about the bonus now?
We can.
This is something Chad and I always like to try to sip on a little bit. Is a store pick from Red Barrel. This happens to be their Nulu French oak barrel finish. He's still got plenty of this, along with everything else. So you can go try it before you buy it. So there's our little plug for Red Barrel Liquors in Mooresville, Indiana. A lot of great stuff out there.
There is.
Now, you want to make a prediction on what you're drinking?
Well, I will.
This is tough. Tough for me to figure out what Chad's got for me here.
I honestly... I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I can't pick.
And if I had to pick, I'm going to say this is Heaven Hill Green Label.
Okay. I don't have a pick, honestly.
This is what Chad's drinking, is a Sagamore Spirit. I didn't know if you'd ever had that.
No, I haven't. That's why I didn't know, because I never had it.
What do you think?
It's not bad. It's sweet,
Yeah,
spicy, but it's sweet.
not crazy rye.
No, it's not
Over
crazy
the
rye
top
flavor at
rye.
all. It tastes more like just a regular, like a bourbon, you know?
Yeah, it's good. I love it. What am I drinking?
You were drinking Heaven Hill Green Label.
Got it right.
And unfortunately, like I said, the Heaven Hill Green Label is probably not available most places. I think there's still a few places in Kentucky. If you happen to stumble upon it, then it might be on the shelves. But they're not producing it. They're not producing the Green Label anymore. What I will say is they're probably still producing the juice. It'll just be rebottled and relabeled and $20 more. So
You can still get this. This is getting more and more common. This is good stuff.
it's not bad.
You know, it's not too bad. So hey, that's what we've been drinking lately.
It is.
Hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you'll let us know in the comments what you're drinking lately.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll turn us on to something we haven't had. And maybe we'll turn you on to something you've never had that you want to get your hands on. For the most part, everything we have here is very reasonably priced, or a lot of it is.
And super affordable.
Super affordable. I mean, the Woodford is expensive.
The Woodford batch is probably the hardest thing to get, and probably, well, it's not the hardest thing to get, but it's definitely the most expensive.
Yeah. So, hey, drinking bourbon is supposed to be fun. Sip it. Don't flip it. Don't sell it on Facebook. Crack that bad boy open and drink it with your friends and have a good old time. And get a hold of some of your friends and create a community where you can share whiskey and do that kind of thing. And speaking of which, if you join Patreon, you saw it earlier, you know, we're creating a great community of people that love to talk about whiskey. We'd like to have you over there for about the price of a cup of coffee every month.
Yeah, and thanks to the Patreon people.
Absolutely. Hey, if you drink, don't drive.
If you drink, don't drive to the watermelon crawl.